Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. If you're looking for life, relationship, business coaching, or you are looking for entertainment coaching because you're getting into pro wrestling or another form of entertainment, I serve all those people over on that channel. So please go check that out. But this particular venture is into the WCW Saturday Night Review Series for April 10th, 1993. We start with Paul Orndorf and I believe Johnny Gunn wearing a Paula t-shirt, which they've been pumping for a while. This is an abridged version, as they only have about 41, 42 minutes of this particular program, so I'm assuming sports or something else had taken Saturday night's other half of the time slot here, which is quite common. Orndorf doesn't even take the robe off before starting to beat up his opponent, including choking him with the Paula t-shirt. Match runs about 2 minutes, if that, and manages to Orndorf wins with the pile driver. Orndorf says he will not continue to wrestle if he is ordered to do so if the fans continue chanting Paula. Actually, that was in a pre-match promo. So again, go behinds by Gunn or go behinds by Orndorf on Gunn with a back suplex followed by other things, punch kick, and a bit of brawling. Obviously, Orndorf gets the win in just over 4.5 minutes into the program with a pile driver. Orndorf has been pushed pretty heavily since his return several months ago, less than 6, but still, the Paula thing catches on through the summer. It's a pretty big deal back at the time. Your announcers, of course, Tony Schiavone, who, of course, now is with AEW all these years later, and Jesse the Body Ventura. Shanghai Pierce up next in a singles match alongside tag team partner Tex Slazenger. And the interference from Slazenger last week caused problems for Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack gets a shot at Shanghai here this week. Brawling, basic stuff. Jack goes into the ropes, gets a couple of kicks along the way. Cactus Jack by this point is pretty well considered full-fledged babyface. Jack comes off with a couple of stomps, also hits the eventual double arm DDT along the way, and Jack is able to, after a few minutes, get the complete victory. The continuation of the victory, though, is a disconcertion for Tex Slazenger. They're actually made, and the only time I ever saw them was on this episode, but foam guns, which you couldn't do today, kind of like foam fingers that say bang bang on them. Cactus Jack says he wants Vader. Cactus Jack says he wants to be a champion and be at his best. Tony Schiavone usually mentions that the fans aren't normally something that Cactus worries about, but Cactus says things are changing in his demented mind. We then go to another enhancement talent match. Max Payne here, and kind of doing the heavy metal gimmick at a point where they don't need another one because they've got Van Hammer, but maybe a different kind of metal. I don't know. Anyway, Max Payne ties up with the enhancement talent, goes right at him, punches, kicks, chokes, and the basic lock. The interesting thing is that Max Payne is using the painkiller armbar submission, gets a victory in under 3 minutes here. Virtually no challenge there, and Payne kind of giving the referee a heck of a lot of difficulty. Arn Anderson will be facing Barry Windham in the following night's main event program. They were doing Sunday night main event at the time. Anderson basically says he wants Flair back, but he also wants to be. Or actually, this is, I'm out of sequence. Different notes from the same show, different page. Actually, this is the promo where Eric Watts and Arn Anderson are going to settle things up. Interesting that there's a blend over between the two because Watts is still a babyface. Arn a babyface by this point because of Flair's return by association, but still kind of carrying through the feud between Anderson and Watts from earlier in the year where Watts put Anderson, who tried to attack him at the gas station, on the shelf. Rick Rude comes in and has an enhancement match where he hits a DDT as an opening match maneuver. Rude is continually frustrated by the fact that he is not the given WCW US champion, says the belt was stripped from him several months ago and that was unfair, which is factually correct. Dusty Rhodes continues to, or starts to, plug Slamboree for later in May. It's a Legends reunion type thing. They're trying to bring back old fans, for lack of a better term, through the idea of utilizing talents from the 70s and 80s. Doesn't really work, and they only do, I think, four of them in total in that way, with the vein towards the different guys. Anyway, we've got a new team here, at least temporarily for the next few months, and that is Chris Benoit and Bobby Eaton. Would have been an interesting new foundation, new Midnight Express type thing, but they never went that far with it. Johnny Gunn and Tom Zink are the opponents here. Benoit, even here, shows himself to be amazing, brings the best out of Gunn. Gunn hits a drop kick after a beautiful side suplex. Bobby Eaton bumping around like a champ for the team of Zink and Gunn. Zink and Gunn here through, well, the latter part of 1993 anyway. Some leapfrogs on Bobby, attempted roll-ups, quick pin attempts almost continually before Benoit comes back in and clotheslines his adversary in the back of the head. Pretty aggressive type stuff there. Benoit manages to get a few kicks in, goes right at him and hits a headbutt or two there. Irish whip by Benoit into the corner, hits the running go of it, and ultimately hard shots, and then there we go. Double Irish whip and big back body drop along the way. The Babyfaces are in control. I actually like the team of Eaton and Benoit and wish they'd gone further, had been more pushed. They were here for less than 6 months, never really treated like a push team. Double back body drop and the Thez press for the Babyfaces. Thez press, of course, by Johnny Gunn, and there's a victory there. Vader out next, basically challenging the British Bulldog for Slamboree, also mentioning indirectly that he wants to get his hands on Cactus Jack as well. Then we go to another tag match this time. We've got Marcus Alexander Bagwell and Too Cold Scorpio in an enhancement talent match. Scorpio with the rap music video has the fans solidly behind him. I think they could have done a lot more with that. It is Bagwell basically given the rub because he's been with the company a little bit longer, but this is the wrecking crew of Rage and Fury against Bagwell and Scorpio. Bagwell and Scorpio 6 months from now or hereabouts will be in the tag team title hunt, but they're building them pretty strong. Power versus, I guess power versus speed and finesse is the way here. Bunches of arm ringers and arm locks along the way. Bagwell stays in for the early part of the match. Scorpio comes in and has to fight his way out of the wrong corner, and then we see a couple of drop toe holds and other basic things. Scorpio tries this time a leg lock and cinches him up pretty simply put. The Cole Twins are out watching and scouting talent. Cole Twins don't hang around too terribly much longer. Then we see Bagwell and Scorpio switching back and forth on working over the legs and ankle of their opponents. Cut off of the ring and cheating tactics by the wrecking crew, and Bagwell gets cut off in the middle of the ring there. Big suplex continued by the heels, and Bagwell gets ground down with a chin lock and a power slam and other basic stuff there. Not exactly the greatest thing in the world, but not a bad match either. Just more of a longer match than it needs to be. Obviously, at the time, I guess you'd say lesser talents lead to this. Attempted sunset flip from Bagwell. Bagwell eventually does allow and get the victory or lead to the continuation of the victory for his team. And before we close the program, we do see the Cole twins being endorsed by Bagwell and Scorpio, so that's interesting that they'd have two babyface teams kind of endorsing each other. Just an interesting concept there. Ultimately, Bagwell and Scorpio do get the victory, and that'll close us for today. We'll be back with more right after this.